was such an incredible atmosphere when the African continent was given much admiration on the campus of Michigan Technological University on a friendly Saturday dated on the 9th of March 2024. All African students on this beautiful campus saw the need to stay glued through a much more fulfilling approach of getting together to embrace the solidarity of a greater sense of Africanism. At the Isle Royal Ballroom of the Memorial Building of the University, an extraordinary impact of the sense of all African night, which were beautifully characterized with varieties of palatable meals of the African continent, mouth-watering performances, display of amazing dancing skills, a talk from a resource person, awards, and many others were deeply held in high esteem.
This is the entrance of the very premises where this program is going to take place. This is an avenue for all Africans on Michigan Tech campus to collaborate to ensure the unity amongst us and also have the better understanding of how different people from diversities of nationalities on the African continent coming together to ensure the sustainability of why we should stay together as an entity, as a sense of Africanism. I'll be interviewing Adako Yadom, who has also played vital role in ensuring the success of this particular program. So we have to speak to him and we're asking him some questions. Dr. Adako Yadom, which people call you, you're popularly known as Opambo, and you're very popular for that matter. Can you tell us why this program has really become possible?
Thank you very much, Mr. Co-President, for the opportunity. As you rightly said, my name is Opambo. When you leave our homes and come here, we feel disconnected. So we saw it to be a way to bring the sense of Africanism, to bring us together and share our culture with others. So basically, this program is to bring people on board for them to understand the culture. One time I was walking on the street and I met a guy. And I told this guy that I'm from Africa. He said, "What? Africa?" So this guy was basically not even aware of Africa. Not to talk about my Ghana, Nigeria, whatever, So this program tries to highlight the importance of Africa, our role, of how we impact the world, and that there's something out there called Africa for them to also explore. So this is basically why we organize this program.
So is there anything that we should expect, which is very much extraordinary? Is there anything that you think those of us who are very much prepared to come to actually participate in this program, is there anything unique that you think we should expect?
Okay, yeah, thank you. So you just need to expect something fun. I came with a friend and she's happy to be here. She don't know what to expect, but she's just happy that I'm coming for an African program, and this tells you about the uniqueness of our culture. In Ghana, my country, we are over 35 million, but we speak about 80 languages. Just think about it, So when you come here, expect nothing but the best. A lot of food from different cultures, music, dance. So there's much more in store for people to come in and experience here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adakoyado. So we just spoke to Opambo, how he's popularly known as, and he's demonstrated to us the sense of necessity of everybody coming to take part in this particular program. We're very much excited to have people like that. We will be having a lot of interviews as we enter the very much premises where this program is going to take place. We'll also bring you exclusive coverage from all parts as we have a better understanding of this particular program.
The program began with fascinating musical interludes that characteristically embrace the greater sense of Africanism, taking into consideration the distinctiveness of the African culture, and these were highlighted by the Master of Ceremony, Micah Idowu, and his co-host, and in the process recognizing the presence of some invited dignitaries.
Welcome home. Welcome home, please. Welcome home. Hello everyone. Hi, good evening. You're welcome. We welcome you. We welcome you. I'm going to be your host and MC for tonight. And my name is Michael. And I want to welcome my co-host, Michael. Yeah. I think some of you probably got lost after recently digitizing.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, because you only have access to myself.
Welcome. Thank you for coming to African Night.
Thank you very much for coming. We had a wonderful time last year. And some of us were here last year, and I'm sure you had a wonderful time. And we're happy to have you guys here once again to come and enjoy our culture, our food, our language, and our tradition. And if you can see, I'm dressed in a traditional African attire. Do you like my attire? Yeah. And what are you wearing, Michael?
So I'm wearing a westernized attire. So this represents the westernized part of Africa and how we've transitioned from the era of the traditional areas back in the day to now how we are.
Yeah, exactly. Africa is a very beautiful continent. It's filled with a lot of people. We have 54 countries in Africa.
Exactly.
And we have a lot of languages, a lot of different people, group cultures. And part of our culture is our fashion. And as you can see, I'm wearing a traditional attire because in Africa, we appreciate our culture, we appreciate our tradition. At the same time, a lot of countries in Africa were colonized by the Western world. And so we've adopted some of the colonial fashion. An example of that is the suit. And that's why you can see my co-host is wearing the suit. And it has become our identity. It has become part of our culture. We embrace the suit. At the same time, we have embraced our cultural attire. Do you have anything to say, Michael?
Exactly, yeah. So this just shows how much we've transformed as an African continent. We are able to embrace all cultures in the world, and it just shows and brings positivity to our diversity.
Thank you very much. I want you to put your hands together for yourself, and thank you very much for coming. We wanted to have a wonderful evening tonight, and we promise it's going to be interesting, it's going to be wonderful. We want to appreciate everyone that has taken time to support the African organization, and also everyone that's taken time to prepare wonderful meal. We have a beautiful meals for you guys to taste, different African meals and all of that. But before we go, we want to appreciate and welcome some group of people to the high table, to the reserved table. Michael, can you go first?
Yeah, so we're going to be introducing the dignitaries, Dean of Students, Kelly Raffaelli. Kelly Raffaelli, thank you for coming.
Please, can you come and sit up front? We have a seat for you. Okay, she's not here. Oh,
I think she's not here.
okay. Yeah, we want to welcome IPS Director Mariana.
No, I'm not the director, but I am.
She is tonight.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you, Mariana. Thank you very much. Can we put our hands together for Mariana?
The outgoing president of ASO of Michigan Technological University, in the name of BESTA, was called to the stage to highlight on some key aspects of the meeting with the projected information on the screen about some countries of the African continent. He intelligently used the opportunity to educate the gathering about these countries and interestingly invited on stage the representatives of these countries.
Put that hands together as a comment.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, you're all welcome tonight to African Night. Number two, I just wanted to appreciate everyone who has made ASO what it is today. And that's a very long list. When I started out this journey, I could only hope to learn certain leadership skills. I didn't really know what I was getting into at the start. And I have all of you to thank for what ASO is and what the experience is. So to begin with, I'd like to thank you for coming here, because I think a big part of being in the executive of ASO is organizing this very event, and having you here is a great thing, because without you, we wouldn't even do this. I'd also just like to thank the advisors that we've had. Today is a very special day. Like our MC had already said, we have our original advisor who will be coming up in a bit. So I didn't even know there was an advisor before our current advisor. I only learned it a few weeks ago, and our advisor mentioned we're having somebody very special coming. So this is an especially special night. Hopefully she'll tell us about how everything started. I'm also interested to hear, but yeah, again, I just like to thank her and everyone who's kept the group together. I'd also like to thank Student Leadership and Involvement, MTU, for structuring how RSOs are supposed to work. Again, when I started out on this journey, I was only hoping I'll learn certain leadership skills, but part of the way things work is pretty much structured by SLI and the university. So I also appreciate the university for setting up RSOs the way they are. And then I'd also like to appreciate all of our members. So a big part, I think, of most of what we're doing throughout the year is trying to deal with our African Student Organization members. And then we have the executive team that at some point we'll also be introducing to you. And we also have a new executive team that will be carrying the flame forward. So I hope in the future somebody else will be up here and also be able to appreciate everything they've learned throughout the process. The last thing I'd like to do, I'd just like to introduce to you the MTU community, the African community we have here on campus. So I have a very quick presentation I wanted to go through. I just want to go through all of the countries you have represented so that everyone here has an idea of who we have here, who we refer to as African here on campus. So I don't know if you can see the map, but then this is just supposed to summarize all of the countries where we have people coming from. I don't know if you can see the red dots, but the picture I was trying to paint there is right now at this moment we have representation from all the regions of Africa, regardless of what system you're using. So you see we have some countries in the south, some in the west, some in the east, and now we have one in the north. Since my time here, I haven't met anyone from Northern Africa, and I just met somebody 3 weeks ago. And these are all the countries that we have represented. I'm not going to go through the list. I'm going to start talking about each of them one at a time, but you don't have to quickly try to memorize this. I know Marianne already memorized this list earlier today. So I'll just be going through a few brief details. Firstly, we have Sierra Leone. So you see on the map, Sierra Leone is in the far west of Africa. The official language of Sierra Leone is English. They have about 23 languages. Total population is about 8.4 million. Some of the top exports are diamonds, cocoa, and coffee. One interesting fact about Sierra Leone is they have a huge cotton tree in one of the cities that predates their independence in their country. So it's an iconic figure that you find. I was trying to get a picture of it, but then that tree over there, if you look at it from different angles, it's huge. And of course, I heard recently it fell down, and it was like losing one of their, their state figures. So that is that you meet anyone from Sierra Leone, you can talk about that tree. It's a very special tree in Sierra Leone. And then we have Liberia. Liberia is also nicknamed the Lone Star or the Pepper Coast. I don't know if all of us have had a chance to try various African food. One thing you learn is a lot of spices. However, Liberia claim that they have a lot of hot food. So if you think you haven't had enough of spicy food, meet the Liberians you have present. Is Rafega. You want to come up on stage for me? I'm just going to introduce to a few people so you can just see them. For them, official language is also English. They have about 20 languages. The total population is a little over 5 million. Their top export is rubber. Just stand there. Or you can come on and stand over here so you don't block the presentation. Sorry. Yeah, so this is Rafega from Liberia. So one interesting fact about Liberia is they elected the first female president in Africa.
Yes.
And then we have Ghana. So if you haven't met anyone from Ghana, then you probably will meet one today. They form the highest representation of Africans here on campus. They're nicknamed the Black Star of Africa or the Gold Coast. Their official language is also English, though they have some 70 other languages. The top exports are gold, probably why they have that nickname, and cocoa. Some interesting facts about Ghana: they have the second largest cocoa producer in the world. They're the largest gold producer in Africa, and they were the first to gain independence. Phoebe, sorry, can I bother you to come on stage? So Phoebe is from Ghana. I just wanted to have everyone line up here for you today. If you have... Oh, okay. And then we have Chad. So Chad is going to be somewhere closer to the center of... oh, sorry, this is Nigeria. Wait. I just want to make sure I don't miss any, sorry. Okay, I think Nigeria was next. I'll just make sure I don't miss Chad. So then we have Nigeria, which is also in West Africa. Again, if you haven't met a Nigerian, you probably meet one today. Just talk to anyone who looks like me in here. It's very likely to be Nigerian. So they're nicknamed the Giant of Africa for a lot of reasons. Number one, they have over 525 languages. Most of my Nigerian friends, I was asking them after I discovered that if they can speak more than 10, because you wonder if you have this many languages in your country, shouldn't you at least be able to speak 10 of them? Total population, more than 225 million. They have the highest, I think, in Africa. Top exports, petroleum, the Afrobeat. So most of African music that you listen to is probably Afrobeat, and it came from Nigeria. Some interesting facts: they're the 6th most populous country in the world. They're the pioneers of the Afrobeat, if you know what that is. They're the 2nd largest film industry in the world. Oh yes, and here is a Nigerian for you to see. And then we have Chad. So Chad is somewhere in the middle of Africa, as you can see over there. They are known as the Babel Tower of the world. They got this nickname because of the diversity you find in Chad. Their official languages are French and Arabic. So if you meet anyone from Chad and you know you can speak French, you should probably go with that first. Total population is over 18 million. The top exports are petroleum, cattle, raw cotton. Interesting fact, they have the 2nd largest lake in Africa, and about 1/3 of the country is covered by desert. Kaja, do you have time to come on stage? So this is the only person from Chad we have. I think I'll have you guys, you can go off stage. It's going to crowd up here. Thank you very much. Yeah. We're planning on showing you everyone, but I think we did think about the stage, so forgive me for that. And then we have Ethiopia. So Ethiopia is nicknamed the land of origin, and hopefully you will understand a little bit about why. The official language is called Amharic. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I thought it was English, but if you check online, that's what it's gonna say. They have about 90 languages, apart from Amharic, and English is one of them, in case you're worried about visiting Ethiopia. Total population, about 110 million. Their top exports are gold, coffee. Oh, yes, please. Oh, no, just stand here for a second. Yeah. So this is Tamar from Ethiopia. Some interesting facts about Ethiopia. They're the birthplace of coffee. So I just learned last week as well that they have a thing they call Ethiopian coffee parties. So if you're a coffee lover, you want to meet one of these guys and learn a few things about coffee. They're the home of the African Union, for anyone who knows what that is. They've been independent throughout history, and they have some of the oldest religious buildings in the world. So yeah, that's Ethiopia. Thank you very much, Tima. Next we have Uganda. Uganda is known as the Pearl of Africa. That's where it will be located on the African map. I hope you can see that, right? They have about 43 languages. The population is a little over 45 million. The top exports are coffee and gold. Some interesting facts about Uganda. They're home to the largest lake in Africa and the second largest freshwater lake in the world, Lake Victoria. So if you've, I remember learning about that in one of my classes in high school. I believe you have too. So that's where Lake Victoria is. Oops. Oh, sorry. And then we have Kenya. So Kenya is nicknamed the Pride of Africa. I was just wondering. Oh, there she is. Okay. So I have Joanne coming up on stage. She is from Kenya. Their official languages are English and Kiswahili. They have about 68 languages in total in the country. Their population is a little over 53 million. The exports, top exports are tea and flowers. I actually visited one of them just to learn a little about tea. It's interesting. If you also like tea, you want to meet one of the Kenyans. Interesting facts, it's the home of the fastest man in Africa. Do you know who that is?
Kipchoge.
I don't know how to pronounce it. And some interesting, the other interesting fact, President Barack Obama's roots trace to Kenya. I believe Barack Obama Sr. is the one who was Kenyan. And after he met the love of his life in Hawaii, that's why we had Barack Obama as the president. And it's the home of the Great Migration. So all of us who are interested in wildlife, if you know what that is, the Great Migration, it's Kenya. You probably want to go see that. Thank you very much. And then we have Rwanda. That's where Rwanda will be located. Rwanda is known as, also known as the land of 1,000 hills. It's a hilly country, and I'll go into some details, I think, somewhere. Their official languages are Kinyarwanda, French, and English. The information we found online looks like there are about 4 languages. It's the least complicated, I guess, in terms of language. Total population is a little over 13 million. The top exports are gold and petroleum and coffee. Some interesting facts. In 2008, Rwanda became the first country in the world with a female majority in parliament. So here, I guess I will be the Senate. It's the most densely populated country in Africa. I guess it's because of the size. And they have 374 named mountains in their country. I don't know more than 4 from my country, so when I saw that number, and this is Irene from Rwanda. All right, thank you. And then we have Malawi. That's where I am from. We're located a little in the south. Some standards will say it's in Southeast Africa. Some standards say it's in the south, but yeah, we're somewhere over there. Our official languages are Chewa in English. We have about 14 languages. Our population is a little over 19 million. Top export is Tobago. Some interesting facts, we have a huge lake that is forms part of the life source of our country, and it's the 5th largest freshwater lake in the world by volume. I was looking for Malarian to come up, so I guess I'll just... Next we have Zambia. Zambia is also known as the real Africa. I've been trying to understand what that means. I won't be able to tell you, unfortunately. If you meet a Zambian, you might want to ask them that. They have, their official language is English. They have a total of about 72 languages. Their total population is also a little over 19 million. The top export is copper, and some interesting facts. They have the largest man-made lake in the world. It's known as Lake Kariba, and it's home to one of the world's biggest waterfalls. So the Victoria Falls, I don't know if anyone has been there before. It's a huge tourist attraction in the southern part. If you want to visit Africa, I'd recommend that Lake Victoria. You want to see that. So it's also what I tried to put in the background. A lot of stuff happens there. It's fun. And then here we have Ruth from Zambia. You're still the only Zambian here. Yeah, so she's the only Zambian here. If you want to ask questions, you won't find anyone else. And then we have Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is called the Jewel of Africa, nicknamed the Jewel of Africa. I'll go straight to the interesting facts first. This was quite interesting even to me. It says that Zimbabwe has the most official languages in the world. So I was wondering what that means, because I'm just wondering, do you go to a bank somewhere and you speak English, and then you have to go to another one and speak another language? I want to meet one of these guys and have them explain this to me. Otherwise, they have, okay, so it's English and 15 more, I couldn't even list them. Number of languages, also 16. Total population, a little over 15 million. Their top exports are gold and tobacco. And again, they have they apparently have the most official languages in the world. So that's Zimbabwe. And then you have Botswana. So Botswana is also known as a peaceful nation. Somebody's looking at me and wondering why I didn't call somebody from Zimbabwe. I was trying to scan the room, I didn't see anyone. Oh, okay, there she is. She escaped me. So our I was just going to say, our Zimbabwe population is also growing here on campus. It's also getting excited. Do you know how many you have here now?
4.
Oh yeah, 4. So it was a lot different last year when I came. So it's also growing. Thank you very much. And then we have Botswana, also known as a peaceful nation. The official languages are Setswana and English. They have about 31 languages. Their population is a little over 2.5 million. That's one thing that I've never really understood. I've always known Botswana. I don't understand how the population is still so small. They have one of the biggest economies in Africa, so I'm still buzzed at how they have so few people. Top exports, diamonds. Interesting facts, it has the highest concentration of elephants in Africa. So if you're a wildlife person and you want to see an elephant, it's very likely you will find one in Botswana. 70% of Botswana's total area is desert, and I've always known them to have a lot of cows. So I remember around 2010 they had more cows than people. Right now they just exceeded the cow population, so they're still competing. I was also trying to quickly scan the room to see if we have anyone. I don't think we have any tonight, but that's Botswana for you. And then finally we have Morocco. So this is, I think, also the first, or at least the first time for me since I've been here to have a country, so somebody from Northern Africa. Morocco is nicknamed the land of football. For those of you who watched the previous World Cup, if you remember the semifinals, they made it there. So I'm not sure whether this nickname is new or it's been there, but yeah, they have the claim. Official languages are Arabic and Amharic. They have about 5 languages, that's what I could find, and English is one of them, in case you want to go there. Total population over 34 million. The top exports are citrus, fruits, and market vegetables. Interesting facts, Morocco has the oldest university in the world. So apparently, if you go into historical records, the first university that was recorded is apparently in Morocco. So that's all the countries we have represented here.
An African student from Ghana and a music enthusiast, Charles, made the atmosphere a much more friendly one with his incredible talent in music.
Royal lady.
All right. The hall was filled with so much of excitement and heartwarming music. As many danced to the tunes of the music, they got themselves served with all kinds of meals prepared by exceptional cooks of the organization. A traditionally motivated dance was performed by Kaja from Chad. She practically exhibited the entities with the cultures of her country with her dancing moves and the accompanying song. Another African student from Zambia performed one of the most popular songs of the country and connected the enthusiasm of almost everyone who cared to listen. A well-celebrated academic who simply wants to be referred to as Mr. Joe was invited by the Master of Ceremony to make his presentation, which was strongly geared towards the appreciation of the strong bond of the African community. He made some interesting remarks in his speech. Find out.
To be a student at Michigan Tech and what the industry looks for. He's also a great speaker. Can we put our hands together for Joe? Please welcome Joe.
So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joe Rushlow. I do work right up the hill here at St. Albert the Great University Parish. So I am a Michigan Tech grad. I graduated in 1989 with a degree in wood science. And most of you may not know what that is. If you're interested, ask me later and I will explain wood science to you. But when I graduated from Michigan Tech, I was a cadet in the Air Force. So I went into the Air Force for 28 years. And like I was introduced, I retired as a colonel about 7 years ago. Once I retired, I went to work for the Boeing company. And for Boeing, I was a senior manager. I was a program manager for military aircraft, and then I was a site leader at one of Boeing's sites. So in September of 2022, my wife Susie and I were invited back up to Michigan Tech. So we moved up here from Florida. So like many of the students in the ASO, we came from the warmth and the sunshine to the tundra of Houghton, Michigan. So I would like to thank tonight, especially the president of the ASO, Bester Mangasoni, and all of you on the board for inviting me to speak tonight. Thank you very much. So last year, my wife Susie and I had the opportunity to be with you here at African Night. We enjoyed the food and the festivity. We met people from all over Africa, and it was a very enjoyable time. We especially loved last year seeing our friend Kaja jump up on stage impromptu and do her dance. So I'm glad we saw Kaja dance again tonight because it's very inspiring. Yes, give a hand to Kaja. So, as I was thinking about what to speak to you all about tonight, I was thinking there are so many things because we have people from so many different countries. So, I prayed about it for a little while, and I asked, what should I talk to these people about? And I got an answer. The answer was, there are so many highly intelligent and talented people here from all over the world going to an engineering school. Talk to them about something scientific or engineering. So tonight, I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes about concrete. Concrete. So, As soon as I mention the word concrete, some of you are probably thinking, why did we invite this man to talk tonight? And some of you are thinking, where did this guy come from? But I guarantee you, when I mentioned the word concrete, in your mind you were thinking about buildings and sidewalks and driveways. All of the civil engineers and the chemists out there were probably thinking about the composition of concrete. So what is concrete made out of? Some stones, some rocks, some sand, some clay. So let's say you have a bucket of material and you throw in some stones, some rocks, some sand, some clay, and you mix it all up. And now you're ready to start building. So you dump your bucket out, and what do you have? You have a bucket of stones and rocks and clay and sand. So you're missing something. What did you miss in your formula for concrete? Think about it. You missed a binding agent. What is that binder you need to make your concrete? You need water. Yes, water. There you go. So water. With your water, you mix up your concrete and it's ready to build. You can build a structure. You can bring together different materials that are divergent, and they're from different parts of the world, different parts of the planet, and you can build something that might last for years. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, guests, members of the ASO, I'm here to tell you that you are all a binding agent. If you think about this, think about your background, think about all of the different cultures you come from, the languages. We heard here when Bester was speaking, in Africa, on the continent of Africa, over 3,000 different languages. 3,000 different languages. All of those languages bring some difference in culture. How do you meld that all together? How do you bind that together across the world? So let me ask you all something. If you'll take just a minute, and all of you in the room here, show me your hands if you have studied in a country foreign from your own before you got to Michigan Tech. Who studied in another country before you got to Michigan Tech? So look around the room at all of these different hands up. People who have studied all over the world. Okay, thank you. But you brought in even more ideas, even more differences, even more culture to your mix of what you might call cultural concrete. So what I'm here to talk to you about tonight is accept those differences. Use the connections you have with the people here at Michigan Tech. Another connection you have, another experience in common to build community wherever you may be in the world. So now it's time for a story. I'll tell you a quick story. About 14 years ago, I had the opportunity when I was still in the Air Force to spend a few days in Ghana. So we were in Ghana and we decided we were going to take a trip up to Kakum National Park. So we're going up to Kakum and we're going to do the canopy walk. For those of you who don't know, the canopy walk it's a walk in the treetops. You're like 130 feet above the ground. It's terrifying but beautiful. And so we did our canopy walk, and later that afternoon we knew we had to get back to the U.S. Embassy for a meeting in Accra. So it's about a 3-hour drive, right, from Khartoum to Accra. And so at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we start to make our way back to Accra from the national park, and we run right into rush hour traffic. And so by the time we hit the national highway, we were not moving at all. and we hadn't really even started our trip. And the people from Ghana know exactly what I'm talking about. And so we're in the van, got to get back to the embassy, and all of a sudden we see flashing lights. So now we're thinking, okay, now we're stuck in the traffic and the police are after us. The next thing we know, someone is kicking our van from the outside. And we look outside and it's a Ghanaian police officer. He's kicking our van, telling us to roll the windows down. And he just looks at our driver and he says, "Where are you going?" And we told him, "We're trying to get to the U.S. Embassy in Accra. We got to get there by 5:30. And he said, "Okay." He said, "Do exactly what I say and follow me." And he said, "Stay right behind me." So what happened next is this man drove right into oncoming traffic. And for the next hour or 90 minutes, he punched every car out of our way in oncoming traffic till we got all the way to the capital, Accra, and made our meeting. It was awesome. So that our common bond that we had with that man of duty and service allowed us to connect quickly, and he helped us fulfill our mission. Even though we were from different cultures, even though we were from different countries, he helped us. And the important thing is, he didn't have to help us that day. He could have left us in that van sitting in traffic, and I would probably still be there on the national highway in Ghana. But he did. I have another story for you, and this story is exactly the opposite. This is what happens when you share a mission and you share a culture and you just can't seem to get it together. So about a year after I was in Ghana, I got sent to Central Asia for a year. Out of Central Asia, supporting our war effort in the world. And there was another air base in England that also flew aerial refueling tankers. And so when I had a tanker that broke, I would call England and ask them to send me parts because they would send airplanes to us every couple of days. Well, it all worked very well until I had to call the supply warehouse in England. And at the supply warehouse in England was a very professional and proper English woman who worked in the supply warehouse. And she told me on many occasions that she had to meet her metric, and her metric was that when I called her for a part, she had 4.5 hours to get my part and put it on contract for delivery, which meant that I had 4.5 hours to coordinate paperwork from around the world to get back to this woman in England, or she would drop my part in a box and I would not see it for the next 7 to 10 days instead of 24 hours later. And so as I scrambled to get this paperwork together on many occasions, there were occasions I called this lady up at 4 hours and 35 minutes and told her I got my paperwork, and she said, "Well, that's good. I just dropped your part in the box." I was like, no, you can't drop my part in the box. That means my airplane doesn't fly for 7 more days. And it didn't matter to her. All that mattered was that she met her metric. No matter what I said, no matter what I tried to do, there was no cultural concrete being formed between me and this woman. And for the next year, every time I had to deal with her, it was the same way, despite anything I told her or anything that I did. So, when you connect with each other, you have a choice. You can cooperate, you can care and share about each other's problems, or you can choose to just let each other go and fend for yourselves. So ladies and gentlemen, one more thing. If you would, take a look around your tables at the people you are sitting with. Look at the people coming from different countries, different cultures, different backgrounds. Your time at Michigan Tech has helped you build a connection with these people. In the course of your life, do not let this connection go to waste. In the future, use these people and use these connections to help you work together to solve problems wherever you may be in the world. Don't forget the formula for concrete. All of these diverse and different parts come together. They need a binder. In the concrete world, it's water. In your world, it is people who are willing to work together. So remember that and work together throughout your lives to build a better world. So I want to thank you all again for inviting me to speak tonight and for the wonderful occasion you are throwing on. So thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Josiah, a school drummer and a member of VSO, stole the night by performing the redemption song by Bob Marley.
Where you could be in future. So thank you very much, Mr. Joe, for that great word of wisdom. And up next, I'd like to call on Josiah with a great performance. So Josiah, take it away. Thank you.
The song I'm going to play is Redemption Song by Bob Marley.
Allah. C'est bon.
Oh, I will lullaby to the merchant ships. These are tired to come from the bottom of this pit. My mind is hopeless strong. By the hand of the Almighty, we fall. Generation, giant country, won't you help to sing redemption song? Won't you help to sing redemption song? In my secret yourself from the castle, no matter who's country or mine, I know you're right on energy. It's not long that can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets? As we stand aside and look, some say it's just a battle. Got to fulfill the will. Won't you help to sing redemption song? Won't you help to sing redemption song? In my secret, yourself in the castle.
The ASO dance team enlightened the gathering with a sparkling performance, and the atmosphere at the hall immeasurably arose.
music on a trendy Instagram. Be like anybody, they want to be let me get it, guys, for me. You want pass, you want to do what I say, you only get once. For the wise boys, for the girls, for the niggas, for the places, for the man, hey, for the young girls, for that one skin love, but it can't girl. Yeah, so put your hands in the air. Like you really don't care. See the left, see the right, oh, you go there, you go. Do the dance, do the dance. Everybody, look at me, do the dance, do the dance, do the dance. Everybody, look at me, do the dance.
One of the pride of Africa, Irene from Rwanda, took to the stage and showcased an extraordinary talent through her singing abilities and portrayed a culturally oriented accompanying dancer skills of the song.
So for this song, I will need you guys to help me clap your hands.
Some other performances followed up in that regard, which included a well-rehearsed imitation of a series of songs performed by Kwabena, a student of Michigan Tech.
Tear them down into pieces. What if we are this big? Follow me down there, get rich. But you might never listen. I mean, what them shit you think them through all life. Every little thing on your wish list. Baby, you love me, I'm just but most of the drum won't know over. I said, yeah.
More music on ShondaBeats.com.
No. I pray to God for on my back. I don't feel like to see so hard. I go away for what I need for myself. It's them again, we never see Kakaka. They say I stop one because I know go their way. I don't know what they think so when I'm running my race. It's getting fucked up, then catching up my pace. I'm going to be slept on, you go wake up now I ain't late. Don't stop, oh my keep black. I tell myself this waste every time on the road. And I'm still grinding because it's where I want from. We could have blast you, but they give up no way. I run from us to take the call of my big guy. This is not the feeling of my father. The best me tired for my heart, but I don't mind. I never dream a petty complaint. See with me. Who don't know me, don't know me. Ask who know me, say who are me. I know they don't be that to nobody. I keep my hour to myself. See? Who don't know me, don't know me. Ask who know me, say who are me. Easy.
What's up?
I don't know when I say I did it. They start to touch my way like la family. And I want it. Like family. And I can't blame myself for this. I knew my dad was born for this. Of course I fucked up. Who never fucked up my CDA? No one. See, I can't believe. You know what I mean? I was saying I'm going to expect for me. It is what it is. But I keep going low. More like a rolling stone, because I have no stopping time. Can nobody stop him, man? Oh, I keep going low. More like a rolling stone, because I have no stopping time. Can nobody stop him, man? No, I'm gonna run my race. I'm gonna keep my place. You know, I have to play. When I go again, I can't stand this game. I can't watch me fail. So every time you play, remember my name. Remember the name of Samuel. Oh my life, I can't wait to be back. I know you miss me, I know. I swear on my life, I know you miss me, I know. Easy.
Yes, the African Night is a program that was stopped because of COVID-19. And we were privileged during my time as president to start it again. And I'm so happy that the present executive led by Bester Mangisoni from Malawi has decided to continue the tradition. And I want to encourage the coming executive to always make sure that this tradition is upheld. It is a way that the entire community find an opportunity to interact with us, to come together and taste the African food, to experience the real African culture, and then it's an opportunity for us to project the very good values of the African continent.
Just after this performance was a Jama song which enlightened the atmosphere. The newly elected executives of ESO were introduced on stage just at the latter part of the program.
Hi everyone, my name is Joseph Wokako and I'm the incoming treasurer.
Okay, my name is Ebenezer Dakoyabo, the outgoing and incoming PRA.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth. I'm the incoming assistant secretary.
Wow.
I'm Rafika and I'm the incoming secretary. I'm Ruth, I'm the social chair too. Ruth Walia.
My name is Kule Bejide, I'm the vice president elect.
And my name is Yao Okudabra, I'm the president. So I just want to ask the president just to tell us about his outfit.
I have taken a deep interest in it, so instead of asking him somewhere else, I'll just have him explain what he's wearing for us today.
Hello, my outfit is Kente. This is Akan Ashanti traditional wear, which is worn by chiefs and for important occasions, such like this.
Just before the program came to an end, Ebenezer Dakwa Yadom, the outgoing and the incoming PRO of ASO, who is affectionately referred to by many as Opambo, and the outgoing president of ASO were interviewed, and these were their respective responses to the interview.
Yeah, so the president of ASO is available. We'll be asking him to find out exactly the main expectations of these individuals who are Africans. And the program is already underway, but we found time to speak to him to find out what he actually has for us. So we'll be speaking to him. Mr. President, we can see a lot of people from different nationalities who are trooping in, and I strongly believe that there should be a certain expectations of all these individuals. Can you tell us exactly what actually motivated the organization of this program?
So the vision of the organization is to promote African culture. Part of that is working with the members in our association to learn about each other, and then most of it is about extending to the wider MTU community. So that's why you notice that we have a lot of Americans in here as well. They're mainly the target, but just to explain the huge picture, it's because we're basically trying to promote African culture.
So we want to find out how long has this ASO been in existence? Is this something that is highly recognized by the university administration or anything of that nature?
That's an interesting question. I believe I only found out about that 10 minutes ago, believe it or not. I thought ASO started in 2001, but today we have a special guest, our first advisor, so she's telling me it started in 1989. So it's been around. As far as the community appreciating the African Students Organization, I believe they do, at least during my time here. People like to come and try the different food, and I think the main thing about this event is, just to let people have a taste of food from different countries, and I believe that's the main thing that they appreciate.
So finally, as president of ASO, is there something that you think we should respect extraordinarily as compared to your predecessors, or something that you think unfortunately was not put in place by your predecessors, which you wish to let it be available?
You mean for the event, or
as president of ASO?
That's a good question. So I think where we are as ASO, we've grown. I was just doing a presentation about the representation we have. We have about 14 countries. Part of what I was trying to do was try to bring everyone together, and then so that we can be more intentional about promoting that African culture, because usually it's this event and a few others. How we wanted to do that was try to get our group to assimilate into all the other groupings we have on campus, and I think it's kind of happened a lot. We have a lot of people in GSG now. We wanted to get people to join other clubs, but then what we haven't been able to do is have that united goal where we're saying, okay, let's branch out to extend that culture to all these other groups, because we've tried to organize, we had a culture exchange program. We ended up just having all our Africans come to that. And I think mostly it's because people are more comfortable if you go to their gathering and present to them there. So it's one thing that I hope we could do this year, but which we haven't been able to do. It's something we'll try to carry over to the next team.
All right. So thank you very much, Mr. President. So that was the president of ASO telling us about first of all the expectations, and then how he intends to make this particular organization as unique as possible.